But let's look at this guy. The ongoing destruction. Now, this is Professor of Clinical Microbiology, Department Head. The ongoing destruction due to the inability to admit this mistake, despite the epidemic's small mortality numbers, is outrageous. History will judge the hysteria. The hysteria, okay, that you're going to be shutting down all the businesses. You're going to be eliminating the essential and non-essential. How many countries in the world have 10% of their population homeless? America, you're right. Okay, good. We're going to have 30 million homeless in a couple of months. 46 million unemployed. I mean, this is devastating. And we're doing better than other countries. So this is mind-bogglingly stupid. This doctor or professor goes on, the total number of corona deaths does not exceed 0.1% of the total population in any country. That includes New York, because New York is massive. New York is totally their own world. Why? Because they're absolutely insane on how they're governing this, how they're controlling it, how they're calculating it. Because if you die and you have a positive test, you had to die from that. Okay, so if you're hit by a bus, a taxi, a motorcycle, but you test positive, you actually died from that. So that's just mind-bogglingly stupid. The death rate from corona is less than 0.01% of the total world population. This means that if you're living on this planet, I hope you're sitting down, you have a 99.99 chance of not dying, okay, from this. So that's pretty good odds. There's no reason to prevent activities that encourage economy, not only because does it allow parents to go to work, but it also lowers their mortality in the long run. Populations not at risk. Okay, so really, we should find out who's at risk, right? Okay, or mask everybody and their dog. Okay, we should find out people who are not at risk. Okay, and people who are at risk so we can separate it. Populations not at risk should become infected and create chains of immunity which will protect the sick and the elderly. We are currently working to for sweeping social distancing, which prevents such differential immunity. So this professor is saying we need to live our lives to get exposure like we did with the flu of last year and the H1N1 in 2009 and in every flu that we've ever had, okay, to go back to normal. You protect the people that are vulnerable. Now, what does he say to do at risk populations? If you have comorbid conditions, you're taking a bunch of drugs, you're sick, avoid social gatherings. Anybody got a problem with that? I think that's okay. I think quarantining healthy people is an experiment that has failed. Okay? At-risk populations to wear masks, that I would have a challenge with, only because what if they're at home or driving? Okay, they're not at risk there. Okay, and even if they're with their friends, do you think that you should be able to decide your risk level? No, I'm sorry, you cannot run with scissors. How would you like that legislated? Or do you think that you're adult enough or a being that's an independent entity that you should be able to decide what is safe for you and what is not safe for you? Okay, well, luckily you don't have to make those decisions now, comrade. Okay, so these are things that got in our minds 4 months ago, and we do not understand that their time has passed. Absolutely. I mean, we got the CDC director that came out on townhall.com, said that suicide deaths and overdose deaths among high school students has surpassed the number of people that died from COVID. Roughly 146,000 died from COVID or related causes. You got to put that or related causes, because do healthy people die from this? You might be able to find one or two, but you're not going to be able to find hundreds or thousands. Now, 48,000, and this was from 2018, deaths with 1.4 million attempts, and they're old numbers, but they're looking at numbers now that are coming up. And when we look at a doctor from John Muir, Walnut Creek, I've seen a year's worth of suicide attempts in the last 4 weeks. These kids are not being able to go to school. The people that work at restaurants can't go to work. They're losing their homes. They're losing their livelihood. Why? Because they are not essential. Wait, did Charlton Heston say that when he brought the 10 Commandments down? No, this is an insane gauge. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at parts of the brain, because when you're talking depression, anxiety, stress, this is all a function of the brain. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not talking about politicians, okay? I'm just talking about humans, because their brains are different. I mean, I'm not going to run a campaign from my basement. Okay, so we're going to look at brains, okay, that are the brains of human beings totally distorted, or are we doing something that's causing anxiety, stress, and depression?